Hello, Desert Bearhawk fans. All right, so this is video number 3 on the tank installation and plumbing installation for the fuel tanks. So in video 2, you saw me plot the holes for the tubes to go through the ribs and so on and so forth. And as I said earlier, this top one here, it kind of just catches the corner of the circle, so I just made that little pop out in it to clear it, and then I made a pattern and copied it over here. So you can see that the tubes are coming through. This is the lower tube for my fuel indicating system, and it comes through this rubber grommet, sits in there real nice. It's going to float on this end. So the tank will hold it in position on this end. I'm going to let it float. The lower one here, the problem is that I don't have a lot of clearance to get I can't, like this one here, you can see right there, the fittings on it, you can see that I am past flush. So I'll be able to get that fitting. I could put that tube in and just let it sit there while I'm installing the tank. But this one here, not so much, this lower one, because the fitting on the tank is so much bigger, and you got that fuel strainer stack up. So you've got here. Let's come over the tank. You can see. I'll even throw a scale on it for you. You can see that the larger fitting. I know this kind of seems academic, but the larger fitting sticking out from the face of the tank. Take this. So in order for the tank to clear, we're going to call it, let's just say for giggles, 2 1/4. 2 1/4 to clear. Where with this one here, everything's so much smaller. You know, I'm clearing with 1 1/4. So on the fuel supply line tubes, and they're going to have a 90 in them on the other side. This one's going to have a 90 as well. So once it's fabricated, it's pretty much in there. If I have to make a new one, I got to just get a new piece of tubing and make it. It's not a big deal. But this one here is going to have a 90 on it as well, and it's going to have to come in from this direction. So I had to make this hole here big enough for the B-nut to fit through, which is the same thing I've done over here, but I have fit this grommet, but this grommet is just barely, it's not the right grommet. And in the process of doing it, I thought about it, and I thought, you know, I don't know, actually you can see there, the grommet just popped out. So I don't know that I like the grommet on that hole, and what I've decided to do is take a couple of these super nifty Boeing surplus 8L clamp standoffs, and I'll put my tube in here, and then I'll put a regular clamp on it right there. That'll hold it in position. So these are, you know, this can't be installed until the tank's installed, and then the tube's on the tank, and then we can put the clamp on the tube, put the clamp to this, fit it all up, and then figure out where these 2 holes are going to be, and then just take my rivet squeezer and bingo bango Bob's your uncle. So that's it. There's the top piercing or top hole for the fuel level indicator. So it's the other side of this, and everything's ready to go. Now what to do is I have to leak check my tank. I can drop my tank back in, and then I can measure and cut the hole in the cover for the sump, which would be back in this corner up here towards the trailing edge, and check everything over twice, give it my blessing, put the tubes on there, tighten them down, and that's it. Seal it up, wait for it to get installed on the airplane, and see where that takes us. Now, as I was saying that, I'm thinking, I may have to remove these tubes after all, because when I go to mount it up on the aircraft, when I go to mount the wings to the fuselage, these might be getting in my way. They might not, I don't know. Got to look at it, got to figure it out. It shouldn't be a big deal, but we're going to go ahead and cross those bridges when we get to it. And what I might do is I might actually cut this tube off and flare it and then put a 90 on here. So a 90 that goes up to here, and then a 90 down. So yeah, all to come. Once I go to put this on the wing or on the fuselage, we'll do it. So there you go, 3 videos today. Pretty much the work is done for the night, and the next video I will present to you will be of me pressure testing the tank over there once I figure out how to put pressure in it and seal it. I got a good idea. We'll see what we can come up with tomorrow at work. All right, that's the last update for this April in 2019. This Sunday, it's what, let's see, the 5th, 6th, 7th? Might be the 7th. Whatever, who cares? It's my weekend. So with that, see you in the shop.